Let's talk about Titane. Titane is a mad film. No, Jimmy, that's the wrong fucking image. Get with the times, Jimmy. There we go. Okay, so yes, Titane. This is a wild one. If the idea of abstract, French, psychosexual body horror does not appeal to you, and if you're not okay with the movie making you desperately uncomfortable, stay far away from Titane. This movie crosses some lines. It does not care about your boundaries. I'm going to underline that in bold font. And I'm usually one of the last people to be truly affected by this kind of thing. I'm pretty well versed in this universe, thanks to the master, David Cronenberg, and directors like him. But this one went places, man. This is a seriously bonkers movie. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the plot. Titane is about a woman who has sex with a car, and then gets pregnant from having sex with a car. There are some fairly graphic images of her menstruating motor oil and motor oil leaking from her breasts, and this is also a good time to say that I'm having to be very selective of the images I'm showing behind me for fear of the YouTube gods coming down with a banhammer on my ass. I think about half the images in this film are unusable, so where was I? Car sex. Yes, thank you, Jimmy. So this is one element of the film. Simultaneous to this same woman is also a serial murderer. She likes stabbing people in the brain with a hairpin. So one of the murders goes wrong, and she must abscond before they catch her. So she burns her family alive in their house and runs away. This is where the movie takes a pretty sharp turn, as if it wasn't sharp enough already. She notices one of those "Have you seen this child?" posters and thinks, hey, I kinda look like that. Which is a wild way to escape the law, by the way. Points for creativity. But the problem is, it's a boy. So she goes into the bathroom, cuts her hair, breaks her nose, and tapes up her body so that her breasts and pregnant belly don't show. And essentially, the rest of the film is her living with the father of this presumably dead boy. I won't spoil too much, but she is, of course, a murderous psychopath with a continually expanding belly, and he has his own batch of messed up problems as well, so you can guess that the movie doesn't exactly flow into this quiet family drama. But I won't go too far beyond that, because A, I think the images behind me will help convey the story, and B, I actually think this movie is a fascinating piece of art and deserves to be seen. And this goes into a point I'd like to make about horror in general, because when horror crosses certain boundaries, it can make it unwatchable. The Human Centipede is my favorite example of this, because it is mean and sadistic to its characters, and is just sheer unwatchable gratuity. And that's its only point. And I have no time for sadism without depth in a film. You can cross the line. In fact, I like it when you do. It's interesting. But for me, you have to be transformative of what you're doing. You have to make that into some kind of interesting artistic statement for it to be watchable. I know this is totally subjective, but I'm just telling you where I stand and what sets Titane apart from the more pointless realm of body horror. Everything Titane puts you through is in service of making a point about the necessity of human connection, even for the most damaged, demented individuals. The way that the two lead characters interact as the father-son dynamic evolves or devolves is fascinating. And here's where I'm gonna go into full abstract critic mode, so bear with me. I think you can view this film as being separate from its literal elements, such as Alexia being a literal murderer, or being literally impregnated by a car, and so forth. What these things illustrate to me, beyond their literal nature, is an extremity of anger, an extremity of sexual deviation, and an extremity of dissociation from one's family to the point where you literally send them up in flames. And in this way, I think Alexia can be read as a metaphor for an extreme human outlier, unable to form any sort of regular connection with the world. But eventually, even with all the lies and deception, she finds someone who she genuinely cares for and cares for her. And don't even get me started on analyzing Vincent, or this will go on way too long. The point is, you can look at Titane a few ways. It functions as a really intense and interesting psychosexual horror experiment with a lot of wild elements that will push some boundaries. But it also functions as a tonal roller coaster where the emotions it puts you through is more the point than the plot elements, if that makes sense. Like Alexia, my investment in this insane movie became more and more full. Not with the car baby, but with just general fascination in the spaces the film was operating in. And like her belly, I got more and more full, agonizingly so, with the themes and images and ideas this movie was trafficking in, until the release of its last moments, after which I sat back and said, wow, that was a film. And that's Titane. Have you seen Titane? What's your reading? I'm genuinely curious, especially as regards the car baby. If you know what's up with that, I would love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below, and let me know if you have any recommendations of films like this that you think I would like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.